news source. This is breaking news from Wish TV.
It's been just a little over an hour right now since an earthquake woke up a lot of people here in Indiana. A 4.2 magnitude earthquake hit central Indiana today. Let's give you some information regarding that earthquake right here. We can tell you that it hit at 7:55. Again, 4.2 magnitude, felt up in the just north of Indianapolis, closest to the Kokomo area,
Seriously.
the Marion area, the Wabash area. A lot of people there reporting how strong this earthquake felt. The last time we had an earthquake here in the state was back in April of 2008. Then it was a magnitude 5.4, stronger, but it may not have felt as strong here in Indiana because that was centered there in Illinois, and that was West Salem, Illinois in particular. But again, it could be felt as far south as Vincennes as well as Evansville. But going back to this one, a 4.2 magnitude earthquake, and we can tell you we've been getting lots of calls into our newsroom as well as over on our Facebook page. The conversation has been going on. I believe we have a phoner right now. Is that correct? Okay, let's go to Bud in Kokomo. Bud, good morning.
Well, good morning, Joy.
So, Bud, did you wake up to this earthquake, or did the earthquake wake you up?
I was already up when it happened, and we live very near a stone quarry where they do a lot of blasting. And this time the whole house shook a little bit longer, and there was a loud boom that went with it.
So did you automatically know that this was an earthquake, considering we had one in 2008?
No, I didn't.
Because
But,
you live near a quarry, is that why?
Yes.
So what did you think when you heard that this was an earthquake?
I thought that, when I heard it was an earthquake, we have a border collie, and he's been acting strange for the past day. Very strange. He kept us up all night, and when I heard it was an earthquake, that really explained why he was acting so strangely.
Oh, the last time we had an earthquake back in April of 2008, we heard reports from other pet owners as well on that, and then the debate started as to whether or not animals have that instinct. But a lot of people who are animal owners really believe that they do. But thank you so much for that perspective, Bud, up in Kokomo, very near the epicenter of this earthquake, a 4.2 that hit at 7:55 this morning. Ruth Ann Gordon is over at our live desk. She's taking a lot of calls and getting a lot of information, Ruth Ann.
I forgot, but I do remember this now, is in Greentown, where this is the epicenter, also is a special historic factory. You know, Greentown had a Greentown glass, and there are a number of people up in that area that are worried about that building and all of that historic glass that's in that building. And so I'm trying to get some word to them to see how that is, what the status is of all of that antique glass that's in that museum. And so that's one of the things I'm trying to work on, in addition to getting crews out and more information in from Purdue, and we're scrambling crews all over the state right now. So very busy at the live desk right now.
Yeah, that's fascinating, Ruth Ann, because the earthquake was just enough to rattle, and when you're talking about antique glass, that's certainly something to be of concern.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. A great tool that has been of service to us has been the U.S. Geological Survey website, and you, Adrienne Broadus, has been finding a lot of information on there because a lot of people wanted to talk about
right.
this.
You and Ruth Ann were just talking about that rattle. Well, they want to know if you felt it, and there's a survey that you can fill out online. They ask, did you feel it? You enter your address, and of course you'll click yes, and they'll ask you about the physical situation. If you were inside of a building, outside, or stopped in your vehicle, you'll mark that. For us here, we were inside of the building when we felt it in our studio. They'll ask the type of building structure, so we'll put office building for our purposes. Were you asleep? No. You get the point. So then when you come over here, they're going to ask, what was the shaking strength? And we'll say moderate. And we felt it for about 30 seconds. You enter that amount into the cell right there, and your reaction, a lot of us here looked around and said, what was that? What is going on? And once you finish filling out that survey, you can scroll down to the very end and you'll click submit report. Now, I've already submitted it once, so it's not it's not letting me resubmit, but you have the option to reset form. And Joy, a lot of people from Cincinnati have been posting on this web page saying they felt it, folks, as far as Toledo. So 4.2, it's causing a great deal of problems for some people here.
It certainly is. You know, it hit just about 7:55 this morning, and you were saying how we felt it over here. We were in a commercial break at the time, and when we were in the studio, we were wondering, what was that? Because the last thing really that came to mind was an earthquake, though we had been through the one in April 2008.
And we've heard people say, oh, I thought it was thunder. A friend of mine called. She wanted to know, was there an earthquake?
Oh, yes. The phone started just ringing up here in our newsroom.
Certainly.
Thanks so much, Adrian. All right, well, I was sitting right next to Alicia when we were wondering, what was that?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I wasn't here for the April 2008 one. I came a couple months later, so this is my first one that I had here in Indiana, and at all for all time, I guess. But we were right over at the studio, and we felt something shake, kind of swaying, and we weren't really sure what it was. And I remember Joy said, oh, it was an earthquake, and lo and behold, about 15 minutes later it was. Let's take a look at Forecast 8 Viper. The epicenter about 5 miles to the southeast of Greentown, Indiana. This is located in southeastern Howard County. You can see that it's just well north of Indianapolis and also Bloomington and Cincinnati. People feeling it the whole way down there. 100 miles plus from Cincinnati, so a lot of people feeling it, and we'll continue to watch this as we go through the rest of the morning and take your calls and your comments. Joy.
Oh, you bet. Thank you so much, Alicia. Yes, we're going to take your comments. A conversation has been going on our Wish TV Facebook page. Do you have any damage from the 4.2 earthquake? We've had dozens and dozens of comments on that all over the state, from up in Kokomo to down south of Indianapolis, so continue that conversation there. We will continue to gather more research